I'll tell you a story, true soul. My life was dismantled piece by piece. And when I tried to buy it back, it cost me everything. I must finish what I started. Death's design will be complete.
Baldurs Gate 3 is surely the biggest tactical RPG ever created. It's set in a unique and impressive world with lot of different scenarios, characters, and possibilities. It's serious. It's scary how insane the game can change if you make a small decision. The game was developed by Larian Studios and released in 2023 to Xbox Series, PlayStation 5, and PC, and the people that knew the series already knew that it'd be a huge game, but the rest of the world didn't know how good and impressive it'd be, and is now remembered as one of the best games ever, and even got the Game of the Year award at the Game Awards. What is so interesting in Baldurs Gate 3, beyond the graphics, gameplay, and scenarios, is the details. It's even hard to believe that a game could have so much possibilities. For example, if you choose to talk or don't talk to an NPC, it could change a huge part of the game, and that's just one example. Everything in this game will change something. That's wonderful, and believe what I say, this game is going to be remembered for more than a decade as a game that a few people believed in, and the whole world got absolutely impressed by its insane quality.
I saved you. And I'm here to save you again. The parasites are merely a symptom of a greater sickness in Faerun. The infected hear the voice of the Absolute and believe it to be a god.
The Absolute is more dangerous than you can possibly conceive. It threatens all who live. It threatens the gods, the weave, the very fabric of the universe itself.
Once we were many. Now we are few. Hunters, killers of the world's filth. Witchers, the ultimate killing machines. Among us, a legend. The one they call Geralt of Rivia, the White Wolf.
The Witcher 3 is a huge and complex third-person action RPG with a great story mode and even better DLCs with an extra game mode inside the game called Gwent, a very fun card game. It was developed by CD Projekt Red and released in 2015 to Xbox One, PS4, and PC, and in 2022 received the free upgrade to the new generation and is now also available on Nintendo Switch. It's all set in a huge open map with an amazing freedom to choose what to do and how to do, with a lot of different endings and ways to deal with the characters. That's the type of game that everyone should play at least once. Despite it has some problems, it's still one of the best games ever made.
Will bring devastation. Each choice will lead to a greater evil.
You are truly as he anticipated. This is truly an unjust game. But if my voice is reaching you, I beg you, please overcome this game and save the world.
I'll navigate your escape route. Follow my directions.
Get it, Joker!
Persona 5 is a huge and immersive JRPG journey, with a unique style. Usually this game is remembered as one of the best of its type, and that's true. It's an absolutely insane experience. The game was developed by Atlus and released in 2016 to PS4 and PS3, but today you can play different versions of the game, such as Royal, on PC, Nintendo Switch, and Xbox Series, and that's really worth if you enjoy games in its style. Persona 5 is that type of game that will place you in a dark and fascinating world, with that absolutely amazing storytelling and characters. As you start to learn how things really works in the game, you'll start to feel even more immersive, because of its combat, characters, or even choices possibilities, so I highly recommend you. Usually Atlus create immersive and huge RPG experience, such as Persona games, but they released in 2024 Metaphor ReFantasio. That's also a very interesting experience, but set in a fanciful world.
Gather personas and bring them here. Execute them and continue to give birth to even stronger personas. The world is not as it should be. It faces an inevitable utter ruin. However, mankind is said to hold the power to overturn even the most dire of predicaments.
The year is 2077. An economic crisis culminating in nuclear conflict has left America in pieces. With most of the continent degenerating into lawless war zones, people from all over have converged on the already overcrowded Night City, one of the world's last great megalopolises. A hub amassing the best in resources and know-how, and home to manufacturers of cutting-edge technologies, Night City continues to offer the promise of a
Cyberpunk 2077 is a first-person action RPG in a shooter style. The story of the game is great and immersive, with amazing main and secondary characters and different endings. The game was developed by CD Projekt Red and released in 2020 to Xbox One, PS4, and PC, and in 2022 received the free upgrade to the new generation. And despite its launch wasn't very good, today the game is immensely better. It's set in a steampunk world in a beautiful and nocturnal city with nice missions, with different ways to approach and impressively good secondary stories, even with possible romances like The Witcher 3. In 2023 the game received a DLC with a new map, characters, and even a better story and missions. So you've played the original game, but didn't play the DLC, you should. They added things that the original game was supposed to have at the launch.
People get caught in the crossfire.
Looking for justice. In Night City. I seek revenge. Much more feasible here.
In this world, consumed by never-ending conflict, sometimes only an outsider will get the job done.
Elizabeth tells me you have answers for us. I'm all ears.
And that's you, an urban mercenary, a cyber-enhanced gun for hire.
You seem to understand each other. Take this, too.
Should never have come. You're only going to make things worse for everyone.
No. She chose to come. I didn't make the rules between you two.
You're fighting to change things.
For those who come after.
Claire Obscure Expedition 33 is simply one of the best games ever created, and it's insane thinking that the studio that developed is a small studio, with less than 40 developers working. The studio is Sandfall Interactive, a new French studio, and it was their first video game, and they released a masterpiece as their first project. It was released in April of 2025 to PlayStation 5, Xbox Series, and Windows, and is a big nominee for the Game of the Year of 2025. The game is an immense and complex RPG. Its combat is in a turn-based style, but you that don't like this kind of combat, give it a try. It's the most dynamic and playable game in this style. By playable I mean, it's not just choose what to do and wait. You've got to press the buttons in the right time for more damage. You can dodge, parry, or use different defensive mechanics for each enemy strike. So many Souls-like fans are loving this game, because as I said, it's a true RPG experience, with an amazing story and storytelling, one of the best soundtracks ever created, and a game with more than 50 hours of content of pure quality. So I tell you, play 1 hour, and it'll get you hooked already, I assure you.
Who are you?
I know it seems absurd to offer oblivion as recompense, but
she'll never paint again.
I've concluded a very fragile truce with Sigismund, and if anyone should disrupt my plans with headstrong acts of violence, there will be consequences.
I intend to wage war, not parley.
More people. The best thing would be to recruit from your old comrades.
Well, if they're not already swinging on the gallows somewhere.
Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is a realistic and immersive medieval experience, set in a first-person camera, with the most realistic combat ever made in a medieval video game. It was developed by Warhorse Studios and released in 2025 to Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 5, and PC. And if you want to play it, you must know that it's an extreme realistic game in every single detail, combat, story accuracy, and world. The journey is long and slow, so if you don't like realistic games, you should take a better look before playing, cause it's really a medieval simulator with a hard but immersive combat system, a good story, and a very fun exploration, and can even be useful for you to explore how they lived back then, cause as I said, it's realistic in every detail. It's the sequel of the original game released in 2018. That's also a game that's worth to play over 100 hours. You gotta try it.
Will you help us, Henry?
The Elder Scrolls V Skyrim is an impressive open-world action RPG, with plenty possibilities to choose which path you shall follow, and infinite build styles. The game was developed by Bethesda, and released in 2011, to PS3, PC, and Xbox 360. But throughout the years this game got a lot of upgrades and new versions, and now is available in every platform possible. The game is set in a fanciful medieval land, in a first and also third-person camera, but to be honest, the third person is kinda strange, so it's better in the first-person mode, with all types of creatures, characters, weapons, and possibilities to choose what to do. The new Elder Scrolls is already announced, but I believe it's still going to take a long time to be released. I'd even say 2027 or later, but for now, if you didn't play Skyrim, you should. Monster Hunter World is a game that's huge, filled with content, all with a great quality. The game was developed by Capcom and released in 2018 to Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and Windows. Welcome to a new world. In Monster Hunter World, the biggest installment in the series, you can enjoy the ultimate hunting experience, using everything at your disposal to hunt monsters in a new world teeming with surprises and excitement. The gameplay is fast and dynamic, that embraces many styles of gameplay with many different weapons, against many different beasts. This is easily the most beloved game of this series. Many people started playing through this game, and now the new Monster Hunter, that's Monster Hunter Wilds, is finally available to play. Many people are also exploring the universe of that game, that so far is not as massive as Monster Hunter World's universe.
The tarnished will soon return, guided by grace. Once lost, order is broken to its core.
Elden Ring is the definitive Souls-like experience, set in a huge and immersive open world, with an immense lore, challenging bosses, and impressive scenarios. The game was developed by From Software and released in 2022 to Xbox One, Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 4 and 5, and PC, and in that year it won the Game of the Year award on the Game Awards, and it's going to be released on Nintendo Switch too. If you've never played Souls-like, know that it's an action RPG, but with some specific features, like a bonfire, Souls mechanic, that's a sort of money, hard bosses, and much more. And Elden Ring is the biggest one so far, and the best one to start if you've never played none before. In 2024 the game received a great expansion, Shadow of the Erd Tree, with over than 20 hours of content, even harder bosses and enemies, and a new map, weapons, and much more, so you should play it.
I command thee now!
Rivalon. You were my home once. Before you were overrun by these elves, dwarves, humans. They meddled with a power they didn't understand.
source.
Divinity Original Sin 2 is a tactical RPG developed by the same studio of Baldurs Gate 3, the studio Larian Studios. The game was released in 2016 and is now available on Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 4, iPad, macOS, Xbox One, and Microsoft Windows. The divine is dead. The void approaches, and the powers lying dormant within you are soon to awaken. The battle for divinity has begun. Choose wisely and trust sparingly. Darkness lurks within every heart. This is a role-playing game, in which players assume the role of a hero, on a quest to stop an evil called the Void. From a 3/4 overhead perspective, players explore the fantasy world of Rivelin, interact with various characters, and engage in turn-based combat against human enemies and fantastical creatures.
The Void appeared, attracted by our forbidden magic.
The people turned to the Order for help, but then the Order turned on the people.
Those of us that remain are being hunted, and with good reason.
Together and alone, we must fight for the future of our world.
There's a big mountain to climb. We can do it together. But when we reach that summit, only one of us can be divine.